Thank you, Fred. Straight from the heart is the best. It was wonderful. Thank you. Now, I've received news from a power higher than me that we have to be mindful of the time. And I see this wonderful lineup there. And I'm sorry to say, but I think we probably can only have 2 of you come up because we still have 2 presentations by 2 First Nations groups. And then, of course, Robin will be dancing. So if all of the rest of you behind the first 2 people want to get me in a corner upstairs, tell me your story, or tell other people, I'm very sorry, but I think we're going to run out of time. So can I ask the first person, though, to approach? Or are you in a group? Yeah, you're next. That's where we'll do these interviews. Oh, then we're okay. We're okay. So you'll introduce yourself.
Yes.
Okay.
We represent the Uganda-Canadian Society of Saskatchewan. My name is Joseph Buwembo.
And my name is Mary Musoke.
Michelle joined the Uganda-Canadian Association, which we call UCAS, in 2013 as an artist director. She helped members with basic principles of public speaking, rhythm, and expressivity. She also assisted with choreographing plays and dances and drumming, and you saw one of the practices today. During this time, she developed an extraordinary bond with the Ugandan community, and she loved UCAS so much that we became together as one. She had a gift of engaging every person in the room, whether you were performing or spectating, and her intergenerational approach would move everybody from a 2-year-old to a 90-year-old. She was very generous. During the summer, she would harvest some of her herbs and bring them to us during the practice. And she would package them in Ziploc bags. And one time I counted 15 Ziploc bags, and in each one she had parsley, dill, cilantro, and mint. UCAS would like to honor Michelle by continuing with the work that she started. And I understand that she had already laid out a program for us for up to 2017. We hope to keep her legacy alive through continuing her work. One of the most important things that she taught us when we started to interact with her was how to breathe efficiently when you are speaking or jogging or singing. And I would like to share that with us all. So if you could please rise for a few seconds. So you place your hand below your belly button. Some of you may know this, but please follow along. And when you breathe in, you direct your air to that point. And hold it for 3 seconds, and then breathe out gently. And if you keep that practice, it will help you in all these things, whether speaking or jogging or singing. And I've found that to be very useful. Mary has a few words to say.
Michelle was an amazing person. She was kind, generous, always helping people, and very comforting. She was passionate about her work and touched many lives. She had great ideas and big plans for the organizations she worked with. She was always happy, and her smile made me feel good. She found good in every person she met. Even though Michelle left us too soon, her spirit can live on with us in the things that we've learned from her and the memories that we'll treasure.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. We now have presentations by 2 First Nations communities, so I'd like to ask the Piapot delegation to come forward first. And maybe you could come to the mic and introduce everybody.
Good afternoon. My name is Nicole Crow. I worked very closely with Michelle for many years on our theater performance. And today I have some students that want to say a few words. We have Montana Black Sioux, Abigail Crow, Kenny Morris Cashwadam, and Calissa Cashwadam, or Tanis Cashwadam. So we'll have Montana come on up and say a few words.
Good afternoon. My name is Montana Black Sioux. I'm in grade 6 and I attend Piapot School. Michelle was my theater teacher since I was in grade 2. She was also my good friend. What I remember most about her is her outrageous laugh, and she would always greet me with a hug and a smile. When she would visit our class, we would always do cool warm-up activities before we worked on our project. She also taught us yoga poses and martial art moves. She made theater fun to learn. She always brought herbal tea and she would share with the students. I loved how she dressed. She would always wear animal fur around her neck and had a cool, unique style. The last project Michelle did with my class was a story we presented at Christmas concert. It was called Waisaki Chuck and the Ducks. She even came to our concert and community dinner. She will forever be in my heart, and I will cherish her great memories in my heart. Thank you.
Michelle was such a good role model to me in my school for 4 years. I was very happy to have her in my life. She was such an outgoing person and was very positive, encouraging, and an amazing teacher. She had such a beautiful personality, and she was very funny, and she loved to laugh and smile. Her laugh was loud and made us laugh along with her. When we would prepare for our theater presentations, she would encourage us to go on stage and perform. She would tell us that our community would laugh and smile and be proud of us, so that made us want to do our best. She helped us learn and share our culture and teachings with our community, as well as other communities and schools that would come out and watch us. She helped my love for acting, performing, dancing, and learning grow. I enjoyed our moments together and productions that we made with her. She will be greatly missed, and we will not forget her. Her memory will stay with us and live with us in our productions that we created with her.
My name is Kenny Morris Cashwadam. I did 3 theater productions with Michelle. I loved her. She was a great friend, and she's a part of my heart, and I'll never forget her.
So next we'll have Errol Kahkewsitehaw and the Ochapowace delegation, and following that, Danny will return, and he has some thank yous he wishes to extend to the family. That will be followed by a dance by Robin Patras, so we actually need to clear the area up here a little bit, so that'll take a moment, but Danny's remarks will become before that. So I'll turn it over to Errol Kahkewsitehaw.
Good afternoon, everyone. I know it's been a little bit of a trying 13 days. Like, I must have cried about 13 million tears, just sporadically all of a sudden. Boom, my tears would come out at unknown moments, and they probably still will. As you all know, Michelle was a friend of mine. We got really close together in 2005 when we were selected to represent the province of Saskatchewan in a show, a provincial tour. We toured over 60 communities in this province, and then by luck we got selected to represent the province of Saskatchewan at the Museum of Civilization in Hull, Quebec. And so we got to know each other pretty good, and we worked on a lot of projects together. and we had more to come. The most recent one, I want to acknowledge them, is this collective performance storytelling ensemble, Jesse Archibald, Sophie Buffard, Dominic Giorgio, Aisha Motion, deceased Lacey Morin, Mohammed Sadoun, Labri Sadiki, which I never met yet, Janine Wendell, Mark Schmidt. Those are just, we put together this collective performance group, and it was to learn about how to get along as people, learn how to you know, like the world that's here on Turtle Island is so special that people come from all over the world to come bring their stories. And we were establishing a group, how to set what they call an imprint for other people to learn how to, when all these nations come together to get along. And we found it through song and storytelling. And it was awesome. She was our leader. So I don't know what's going to happen with our group. I think the big challenge, as Mr. Tremblay said, it's up to us now to carry on that, for someone to step up and be a leader. I want to acknowledge Janine Wendell, who, in Michele's honor, in the traditional Cree ceremonies, has cut her hair, a very spiritual thing for them to do. Also the Jolie Big Eagle carried the women's pipe this morning, and that's a very special thing in our communities, to honor Michele and to honor all the rest of us and to honor those that have left us. Today I come here on behalf of the Kahkewsitehaw people. Kahkewsitehaw was the first signer of Treaty 4. He initiated this treaty. He wanted our people to shake hands with all the newcomers that were coming in. And he almost lost his life for it, because there's other people that didn't want to sign this treaty. They wanted to keep their land to themselves. But as we learned, there's people that are gifted, and Kahkewsitehaw was one of them. Kahkewsitehaw his name means a loud voice, and he comes from the Qu'Appelle Valley, and he was known to send his voice across the valley. Ho! Ho! And as a young man, he grew up to know the stories, and the land was going to change enormously. So in 1874, the 13 chiefs that originally signed Treaty 4 were descendants of the place where I grew up, on Kahkewsitehaw and Chaykachass First Nations, now known as Ochapowace. When Michele came out to be with us for only 5 sessions, 2-hour sessions, she knew that we couldn't do a lot of artwork. She knew how long it takes to present artwork, but we ended up creating about 4 to 5 minutes of work. And I'm honored today to have my sisters and the family from Ochap. I'm going to ask them to come up. We have a descendant of the Kahkewsitehaw family, Lois Matthews, who as a child learned poetry and by Pauline Johnson, and took this legend of the Qu'Appelle Valley, which we love. There's a lot of First Nations up and down this valley. That's how a lot of us traveled back in the 1800s. And we sent the furs out to England and all over the place on the river system, from here down to the Assiniboine River, to Winnipeg, out to the Great Lakes, out to the Halifax, and across the ocean. So the trade routes that are there are still there. And I would like to invite Kahkewsitehaw's great-great-granddaughter to come up here and share a few words, and the people that, the sisters that come with you, just to stand in front. That's it. You can stand in front there, 2 years on that side.
Thank you, Errol. Good afternoon, family of Michele and friends. My name is Lois Matthews, and I got to know Michele when she came to Ochapowace with Errol. We sat around, and she wanted to hear our stories of how we came to how did we have a chance to do something with public speaking or acting. So we all told our stories, and first of all, I'd like to say that when I first heard about the tragedy of these 4 people, it was through my sister. She was reading the paper to us, and she said, you know, all of those people, they were all First Nations. And she read the names, and I said, oh, and then I thought about it, and I thought, no, that's probably right. It was 4 First Nations people. Because Michele, she fit right in. She fit right in with all of us. I was deeply moved and honored when Errol asked me to recite this poem that Michele loved too. The Legend of Qu'Appelle Valley by E. Pauline Johnson. I am the one who loved her as my life, had watched her grow to sweet young womanhood, won the dear privilege to call her wife, and found the world because of her was good. I am the one who heard the spirit voice of which the pale-faced settlers love to tell, from whose strange story they have made their choice of naming this fair valley the Qu'Appelle. She had said fondly in my eager ear, when Indian summer smiles with dusky lip, come to the lakes, and I will be first to hear the welcome music of thy paddle dip. I will be first to lay thine my hand, to whisper words of greeting on the shore, and when thou wouldst return to thine own land, I will go with thee, thy wife forevermore. Not yet a leaf had fallen, not a tone of frost upon the plain ere I set forth, impatient to possess her as my own, this queen of all the women of the north. I rested not at even or at dawn, but journeyed all the dark and daylight through, until I came to the lakes, and hurrying on, I launched upon their bosom my canoe. Of sleep or hunger then I took no heed, but hastened o'er their leagues of waterways. But my hot heart outstripped my paddle's speed, and waited not for distance or for days, but flew before me swifter than the blade of magic paddle ever cleaved the lake, eager to lay its love before the maid, and watch the love light in her eyes awake. So the long days went slowly drifting past. It seemed that half my life must intervene before the morrow, when I said at last, one more day's journey, and I win my queen. I rested then, and drifting, dreamed the more of all the happiness I was to claim, when suddenly, out of the shadowed shore, I heard a voice speak tenderly my name. Who calls? I answered, no reply. And long I stilled my paddle blade and listened. And then above the night wind's melancholy song, I heard distinctly this strange voice again. A woman's voice that through the twilight came, like to a soul unborn, a song unsung. I leaned and listened. Yes, she spoke my name, and then I answered in the quaint French tongue. Qu'appelle? Qu'appelle? No answer, and the night seemed stiller for the sound, till around me fell the far-off echoes from the far-off height. Qu'appelle? My voice came back. Qu'appelle? Qu'appelle? This and no more. I called aloud until I shuddered as the gloom of night increased, and like a pallid specter, wan and chill, the moon arose in silence from the east. I dare not linger on that moment when my boat I beached beside her teepee door. I heard the wail of women and of men. I saw the death fires on the shore. No language tells the torture or the pain, the bitterness that flooded all my life when I was led to look on her again, that queen of women, pledged to be my wife. To look upon the beauty of her face, the still closed eyes, the lips that knew no breath. To look, to learn, to realize my place had been usurped by my one rival, death. A storm of wrecking sorrow beat and broke about my heart, till life shut out its light, till someone gently spoke and said, "Twice did she call for thee last night." I started up and bending o'er my dead, asked when in silence did her sweet lips close. She called thy name, then passed away, they said, right on the hour whereat the moon arose. Among the lonely lakes I go no more, for she who made their beauty is not there. The pale-face rears his teepee on the shore and says the vale is fairest of the fair. Full many years have vanished since, but still the voyagers beside the campfire tell how when the moonrise tips the distant hill, they hear strange voices through the silent swell. The paleface loves the haunted lakes, they say, and journeys far to watch their beauty spread before his vision. But to me the day, the night, the hour, the seasons are all dead. I listen heartsick while the hunters tell why white men named the valley the Qu'appelle. Thank you. Perhaps, Errol, you'd like to introduce the other ladies that were part of our drama club. Okay. So on the left-hand side here, we have Valerie Kahkewsitehaw, Errol's sister. And we have Angel Sparvier, and we have Jaylyn Sparvier, and we have Tessa Kahkewsitehaw. There was a great many more of us that put the production together, and wow, Michele was something else. I liked the way she'd walk in. You know, I thought, I wonder where she got that sort of way of walking and talking. And then I read that she had been in dance, so that kind of answered a little bit about it, I think. Thank you.